Hi everyone, Nathan Nemmer here from Mighty Lancer Games. How you doing, everybody? Happy Tuesday. Hope you're all doing some fun stuff this fine evening, as well as watching us, of course. Oh, I've missed his ears. I am painting Flynn the Cat Ranger from Northumbrian Tin Soldier from their Cats of Crumptown range. I've just been blocking in the fur in grey and realised that I've missed his ears poking through his hood up here. So I'm just basing those in with some slate grey from Green Stuff World. Just getting the basics in there. And then, once I finish this, I'm going to move straight on to painting his cloak. And Mrs. MLG is doing some more amazing work on my Eldar Harlequins for Kilted.
How do we call it? Amazing.
Yeah, of course it is.
I am painting my first ever Harlequins. This is what they look like. This is all they're getting.
They look awesome.
This one's got some money stuck to the bottom of it. Why has it got some money stuck to the bottom of it?
Because they are not the most balanced of models, and they had a coin because they were quite light and easy to knock over. I stuck some coins inside their bases to make them a little bit more stable.
So they're worth even more because they've got a penny stuck in.
Holy moly, a penny!
A whole penny!
Wowzers.
I know. Wow. How many do you have in a squad?
There's got to be 8 of them for
That's
kill team.
8p! 8p in that!
Well, actually, it's only 7p because the 8th member's on a bigger base, so he's not got a penny.
So this is this one. This is what this one's getting.
Look, that looks great. I
I'm
really like it.
Practicing my rubbish diamonds. I've never done diamonds before. Never done these Harlequin guys before. So that's him. That's what he looks like. No, I'm a Harlequin. Is that what they talk like?
I've no idea. I imagined him as like really haughty and like I'm super and better than you.
That sounds like an owl.
Yeah, like an owl.
And then this was my other guy. Pew, 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 pew. My diamonds.
See,
this is the first one I did.
They look fantastic.
Is the second one. I don't think the diamonds have got any better yet. But I've decided to do something insane with this guy because I'm a bit nuts. So this is the one I'm going to be painting tonight. And just before the stream started, I started painting its leg black because these guys have all got black leggings on their legs, so you know. And then I did a perfectly lovely little line down there. I thought, that's quite cool. Look, he's got half a black leg. What are you doing apart from picking your fingernails?
No, I wasn't picking my fingernails. I was going to open this paint, but then I was I was listening intently to you, my darling.
This is the first time you're painting, you silly sausage.
I know, but you had me hooked.
Oh, sorry. It's not that exciting, to be fair. So I painted this line down here for no reason at all and thought, oh, that's pretty cool, I could do half his leg a different colour. And then stupidly, drew out a diamondy pattern on this side that I'm going to try and colour in just for a laugh. That was a really stupid. I mean, even the drawing is rubbish, so the painting ain't going to be much better, is it? Pete says that we've got to hydrate. Everybody hydrate!
Hydrate!
So yeah, so there we go.
Hi Wicked D, hi Tony, hi Pete, hi Roy. Hello to anybody else that's there in the chat, and hello Sharon. Anyone else that's there? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint the cloak on my Ranger cat here with this lovely heavy black green that I've now decided is wonderful from Vallejo. So I'm gonna colour this in, this cloak, and then I think we might do the first speed paint test. So, if you watched yesterday's stream, we talked about Army Painter speed paints and Juan, I think it's Juan Hidalgo's video, which I did watch last night. Haven't watched the other one that I mentioned, the interview with Mr. Renton, but I haven't got around to that one yet. But I did watch the speed paints video that we talked about. So we're going to do a little test on these wolves that I painted with the speed paint stuff about a month ago. I think they've been sat there. I still haven't done anything else with them since we did that. So we'll have a good go and see what we think with the speed paints. So I've got some clean water to try, and we've also got some Green Stuff World Max Matte Varnish, which I'm going to try over the top. Seeing as they suggest varnishing between coats, I understand. So we're going to try some of that. And I've only got 3 colours. I'm not doing like a full breakdown of the range. So we've got 3 colours. We've got Gravelord Grey, Dark Wood, and Cloudburst Blue to try. So we'll see what results we get with those. I will hydrate in just a second. There we go. So that's how you did your diamonds, eh? That makes sense, Mrs. MLG. Wish I'd thought about that when I painted the Maggot Crown Ogre. I just took leave of my senses and eyeballed it without magnification.
Alright, it's not really working, but I'm like, it's only me second attempt, so let's see how.
It looks really good, darling.
It's going to be on a table, so it'll be far away.
We did talk about using some art pen type things, didn't we? But I haven't had a chance to go to the stationery shop and check it out, the options. Because we've been building a wall, you know, at the shop. I think we mentioned it, haven't we, on stream? We've built a dividing wall between 2 halves of the gaming floor. And today we fitted the door. Goblin Squire in the house.
Just before the hydrate.
Hi, Goblin Squire.
And what did you make me watch last night? No one can see what you're doing. What did you make me watch last night?
Starship Troopers.
Starship Rubbishy Troopers.
What do you mean made you watch? You begged me to put it on.
You're such a libo.
When we finished the stream, Mrs. MLG was like, "Oh, I haven't seen Starship Troopers for ages. We should really watch Starship Troopers. I'd really like to watch that."
What was I doing while you were watching Starship Troopers?
You were doing some videos and editing and
bits and pieces.
And not
watching it because it's poop. But it's your lot's fault in the stream for putting the idea in his head. We have to watch it.
Yeah, we might have to watch Highlander another night.
Did you enjoy your Starship Troopers?
I did, yeah, it was good. Might have to hunt out the terrible sequels.
To be fair, it wasn't quite as bad as I remember it being. So, you know.
And we did have a good.
It wasn't the worst thing I've ever seen in my life.
We did have a good laugh at. We did have a good laugh at some of the acting, didn't we? And the plastic people that are in it. It was good. And that is, Goblin Squire says that he enjoys it in a really tongue-in-cheek, campy way. That's the best way to view it, Goblin Squire. It's one of those films that you can't take overly serious.
I don't think it was intended that way, though, was it?
What, to be
Well,
completely
the way it's
serious?
filmed and the way it's like done, I thought it was supposed to be
Oh yeah,
daft.
yeah. Like with the news report things and stuff.
Goblin Squire says, I don't think a mini painting channel should be laughing at plastic people.
Yeah, the pretty people that are all the soldiers. It's funny.
What colours are you using?
Oh, what's that?
Oh, Reaper.
Hey, hi everyone. Good evening, Raiders, and welcome to the Mighty Lancer Games 2 Paint Tuesday stream. I'm Mr. MLG, and I am painting a Flynn Cat Ranger from Northumbrian Tin Soldier. He's a metal mini from their Cats of Crumptown range. And I'm painting this mini for Goblin Inspiration, run by Goblin Squire Creations, who is in the house. Hi, Coronoko. And I'm currently using some Vallejo heavy black green to colour in. Keep saying that, colour in, like it's a kid's colouring book. To base coat his cloak. These are a really cool range of minis, sculpted and produced in the UK. And what are you doing over there, Mrs. MLG?
Hello. I'm painting your Harlequins. I have never painted Harlequins before. These were my first two efforts of Harlequins. I think these are for your kill team, aren't they?
Kill team, that is correct.
This was my first ever effort of diamonds. This was my second ever effort of diamonds. I'm not entirely sure that they're getting any better. And this is my third ever effort of diamonds. But from very far away on a gaming table, I'm hoping that no one's really going to notice the effort that I'm making there.
Oh, hydrate. They look fantastic, sweet.
Oh, they're only for you. Anything's better than grey plastic on your table. That's what I'm going with.
Definitely.
Anything's better than that. So what I did, whether this is the right way to do it or not, I have no idea because I've not done them before. But I sketched out with my lovely little pencil here a pattern. And the pattern, to be fair, wasn't very good to start off with, so the painting was never going to really make it any better. I do need to learn. I seem to have forgotten how to draw a diamond. Let's put it that way. So I do need to learn, perhaps.
It's been a while since we were at school.
It's been a while since I've had to draw a diamond. So I think if I could get my templatey drawing right to start off with, then they might stand a bit of a chance. But they're a bit wonky diamonds. But for some reason, when I started painting it, I painted half of the leg. The rest of them have got black legs, and I was going to do it black legs. I painted a lovely, near perfect stripe down the front, and I thought, oh, that's pretty cool. What can I do with that? What insane thing can I do live on stream that I've never done before, just for the sake of it? So this is what I'm doing. For those of you that don't know, they were perhaps still here from the raid, thank you very much. I've only been painting since January last year. So I'm all new and shiny to this wonderful world of painting. So all of these things are new to me. But we're just going to give it a go and see what happens. What's the worst that can happen?
They look great, Darren. Absolutely fantastic.
Well, you're supposed to say that, you're married.
So,
Tony says we've got to sing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star while painting diamonds. Or Lucy in the Sky.
Yeah.
Maybe. And what are you doing over there?
Right then. So what I'm going to do is
You're going to test the speed paint thing, right?
we are. So about a month ago, I painted these 3 wolves using speed paints from Army Painter. We got some samples, and we painted these 3 wolves. So these are Cloudburst Blue, Gravelord Grey, and Dark Wood. Now these are some samples that Army Painter gave us last year, and I didn't get around to using until just after Christmas. And the idea is that these are very much like the contrast paints that you get from GW. Now, I've recently discovered that apparently these paints reactivate once you try and paint on top of them, or varnish on top of them, or even just brush a wet brush across them. So I've got a sheet of paper here. This is just a sheet of plain A4, and I've got some clean water. And what we're going to do is, first of all, I'm going to try agitating the paint and see if I can get it to reactivate with a bit of clean water on one side, and then I've got some varnish that we're going to try and see if that activates the paint. And then what we are going to do is try painting back over the top with some primer and see if that activates the paint, because the last thing you want to do is paint your entire mini with some of this stuff, and if you're a little bit like me, sloppy about painting all over, and you want to go back and retouch up some of the parts. So say you've painted, I don't know, this guy, and I've painted his tunic and I've gone over onto his face. If I want to go back and touch up his face, I don't need this blue from the tunic reactivating with whatever colour I put on his face. So we're going to give this a whirl and see what happens, and then I'm going to make a decision on whether I'm going to be utilising speed paints in my painting arsenal, shall we say. Right, so this is just some clean water, and this is the Cloudburst Blue. So, I mean, these have been painted about a month. So I mean, that looks pretty stable. Yeah, there's nothing coming off there. Is there? That looks okay. So typically, if I'd painted this, if this was a Space Marine or whatever it was, and then I was quite happy with that final coat, I'd want to varnish over the top of that. So we'll come back and we'll varnish in a bit, and we'll see what happens with some varnish. But I mean, so far that looks pretty solid. I have heard that some colours are better than others, so we'll see. So this is Gravelord Grey. There's possibly a little bit of tinging in the grey. That's is that rubbing off? Maybe. Doesn't look too much of an issue there. Right, okay. I think that one's fairly stable. And then finally we've got Dark Wood, which is kind of like a good solid fur brown, really. So we'll just try that. Yeah, there's nothing coming off there. Now, typically, you don't leave your minis. There maybe is a little bit of something coming off there. Typically, you don't leave your minis like a month between painting sessions, but who knows? You might want to leave your minis a while between painting sessions. Now, the thing that I saw online about this that made me want to test these paints, the guy had left them for a couple of hours, and then. Or a couple of days even, I think at the most extreme case, and then came back to them after, and it still reactivated. So we're going to try it on the other side with some varnish, and then we'll try with some primer over the top once they've dried out a bit. So we're going to try on the other side with the varnish. I'm just going to use the same brush. So this is some Max Matte varnish from Green Stuff World, because these paints do leave a quite glossy finish. And apparently, in response to the comments about the paint reactivating, Green Stuff World said that you should varnish your mini between coats, but obviously if you're using a brush-on primer and that agitates the paint, then that's not going to be ideal. So, thought we'd give it a try with something that's supposed to leave a super matte finish. In there. Right. Ooh. There's that. Yeah, there's definitely some blue coming off there, look.
I need to turn your experiment down because all we can see is
Yeah. Should we move that up? Right, so this was just a plain piece of A4 paper, and you can see how that varnish, as I'm working it into the detail of the thing, that's definitely like reactivated the paint. It has. That's very strange. Why would that happen? Really weird. I mean, that has, I don't know. Would that ruin the effect of your figure? It certainly blanched out the paint on the side of that wolf. If you look at the other side.
Do you keep calling it Green Stuff World? Or I don't understand. I wasn't really listening to him telling me.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, so army painter speed paint. Yeah. Yeah. That's it.
I wasn't listening to him.
No, I don't know. I didn't think I'd said the wrong thing, but I probably have. So that's one. Let's try. We'll wash our brush out, and then we'll try it with the other bit. We'll try the Gravelord Grey. So same again, just on this half of the mini. We'll use some Gravelord Grey. So max matte varnish. Oh, I can see it's doing something there. Gravelord Grey speed paint with max matte varnish over the top. Oh, he's done it there as well. Look, see how you can actually see how it's see how it's turned the speed paint back fluid, and it's made the varnish like a grey gloopy mess on the mini. I'm sure that will dry solid, but it's definitely like rubbing the paint pigment around. Yeah, and like I say, these have been sat for probably a month, I think, between when we painted these and now. And let's try the brown, the dark wood. So I think that's doing the same. Look, it's changed the varnish from a nice kind of clear milky white into a little muddy mess on the mini. That is very, very strange. Why would that happen? And then let's get some of that on the paper. So, I mean, I guess if you're going to use these and you don't want to be spray varnishing or airbrush varnishing in between coats, you're going to have to be extremely careful about what areas you put these paints on, because if you want to paint over them, you don't want to risk that, do you? Muddying your paint colours. Now what we'll do is we'll put those to one side and we'll leave them to dry for a little while, and then I'll come back to them and we'll try putting some primer over the top. So we'll go over the top of them with some light grey Reaper primer, which is what I used to undercoat them in the first place, and we'll see if that reactivates, because with it being a very light grey, the Reaper primer, we'll soon see whether that muddies the colour in with this. But yeah, it's really blanched out the colour on that matte varnish side. Excuse me. That's interesting results. I was kind of hoping that after such a long time that the painter would have fully cured and wouldn't reactivate, and I certainly haven't experienced that with the contrast paints, the GW contrast paints. So, because I regularly have had to paint over those when I've gone over the edges. But yeah, we'll give it a test and see how that goes. So we're back to painting Flynn. Let's get some browns and we'll paint his jerkin on his chest. So I think what we're going to go with is some good old Reaper russet brown, and we'll paint his jerkin in. Hi Red Snail! Those diamonds look absolutely fantastic, my darling.
From a distance. I'll hold it really, really far away and blur the camera.
I think it looks awesome. I think it looks awesome. I will be extremely proud to be using those to defeat my enemies.
They did, Tony, they did. Army Painter did advise using the spray varnish to prevent the reactivation. But really, gets a bit rubbish in it. It's like, I don't use sprays. So it's maybe a bit food if I used it and didn't know. Hadn't seen any videos or whatever, and then I'm like, it's ruined my painting because my painting's so wonderful. I'm going to turn your exposure back up now.
Oh, okay.
So people can see your cat.
Yeah, it's I understand that there's sort of these kind of issues, but I don't recall seeing anything on the bottle. In fact, let's just have a quick look if it says anything on here about what to do. Vibrant colour, rich shading and simple highlights in one coat. Apply over matte white colour primer. No. Says about the ingredients, and in case of contact, rinse with running water. Doesn't say anything about having to varnish or anything on there. Okay. So and because I got those given as samples by one of their chaps at Salute. I don't know if there is like an instruction book that comes with the paints, with the paint set. We haven't cracked open a paint set yet. So and the single paints don't arrive for another couple of weeks or so, 2 or 3 weeks. So I'm not sure if there is a more detailed guide on using them included in the paint sets, but yeah, not quite so user friendly, I would say. That doesn't mean that they're not good paints, because the colours are great. The like the blood red colour looks absolutely wonderful. And this blue, this cloudburst blue, I think would look absolutely excellent. We have to try them over some different undercoats. I know people, especially with the contrast paint, some people have got absolutely beautiful results by putting the contrast paints over like bright silvers and what have you to get some really nice colours. So we'll just have to give them a bit of a chance.
You know what else you're going to have to do?
What's it? Yay! Hairspray as fixer. He's thinking Red Snail. No, not sure about that one. Yeah, so I'm just painting in the leather. So he's got a pouch hanging off his belt itself, and his tunic. I'm just painting those in with russet brown, and then I'm going to go back to his skin, I think, or his fur. We'll put a dark wash over his fur, just to give that a bit more definition. So I'm painting this mini. It's a cat, of course. So I am painting this mini for Goblin Inspiration. as I believe this month's theme is cat. Is that right? Cat. It is simply cat. So, and I've wanted to paint one of these cats of Crunk Down minis for a little while. I did want to paint one of the thieves, but unfortunately, we've run out because people have bought them all. So, my next favourite was this chap. It was a toss-up between this guy and there is also a bard mini with a little like banjo kind of thing. What's the? It's not a banjo, is it? It's one of them things that the guy in. Yeah, I think it's a lute. The chap in the Witcher series has. I think it's a lute. Yeah, it looks pretty cool, that guy. But I decided that I was going to do this one. So that is what we're doing. Picked it up just before I left the store today. Well, he's got like a little scarab or something as his belt buckle. Can't see that on the art on the packet. Looking for a bit of inspiration as to what colours I should do him. Trying not to paint him exactly like the art on the pack, which is this guy. I wanted to do the skin as, or keep calling it skin, the fur, so he looks like a tabby kind of thing. If that's, I know what I've got in my brain, whether that is actually a real cat or not by the time it's finished. But hey, that's what we're going for. So yeah, that's yeah.
So if you want to get involved in Goblin Inspiration, then take a look at our Discord, and there's a whole channel dedicated to it, or look up the Goblin Squire on Twitter, and on YouTube you will find the videos from past Goblin Inspirations to get an idea. It's a cool painting initiative where you get a theme word every month, and you base your miniature or art choice. There's all sorts of, it doesn't have to be miniatures, there's all sorts of art that goes into it as well, and you base your choice of art on the theme word and then create art around that theme word. And as Nathan has said, the theme word this month, the month of February, is cat. But there's lots more full details and information on both our Discord and on Goblin Squire's Twitter, because it's Goblin Squire's thing. So obviously Hamish will be able to explain it better, and we'll probably talk about it after us, because we normally raid Goblin Squire if you're streaming at 8 o'clock. So I'm sure that it will go into more details about it then as well. And talking about painting initiatives, you can also enter the Great MLG Brush Off, which every month we have a theme. This month is film and screen, where everybody paints miniatures around that theme. How are you getting on with your miniature, my darling?
I just need to finish his base off. So this is where he's up to so far. I just need to maybe make his lips not quite so pink. And in fact, I'll see if we can get him a little bit closer. I've done a Batman. I just need to sort his base out because it's looking a bit scrappy, and then I'm going to declare he's done actually. So yeah, a bit of base sorting out, and Batman is sorted. I need to sort his lips out because they're too pink. It looks like he's got bright red lipstick on, even though he hasn't.
Maybe you've been eating Batman.
Maybe. Dirty Bertie.
Welcome back, Ron. I hope that your dinner was extremely tasty. You have, what have you missed? We had a raid from Reaper. Not quite sure if Reaper raiders are still here, but they were. We have tested the speed paints and seen how they reactivate the paint on miniatures that have been painted for a month. We have painted some stuff. You painted some stuff.
Yeah.
And we've talked a lot of nonsense as per usual. We were just saying about Goblin Inspiration, and then we were just talking about the great MLG brush off, which this month's theme is film and screen, and Mr. MLG was painting his Batman.
Yep. Batman is one of my favourite heroes. Can't really call him a superhero, can we? When your superpower is money, it's not really quite the same as having a radioactive spider bite or something. Batman and Captain America are my two favourites.
And I painted the Mad Hatter, which turned out to be a very strange miniature.
I did, yeah. I didn't realise how bizarre it was when I got it for you.
No, it's fine. It's fine because it was, the packaging and everything and stuff. But yeah, it was a little odd. Obviously, you'll be able to see that in the Discord, and when I do the showcase for the great MLG brush off, you'll be able to see that miniature in there as well. Wicked D says, and I think I agree, I'd be quite happy if my superpower was money. Tony's got a poll in Discord if you all want to pop up on after the streams and give you a vote on what Tony should paint for next month's great MLG brush off, which is way ahead. In fact, actually, that's what I'm painting as well, next month is class or regiment.
Ah, yeah.
This the squad is going to be from the match for the great MLG brush off. But we did have a discussion in the Discord today about what class or regiment actually means. Somebody asked me if it could be class for D&D, a D&D class like Rogue, etc. And yes, absolutely, of course. And could it even be class as in, oh, look at that classy man over there, all dressed smart? And yes, absolutely, of course it can. If you want to paint that and submit it in that literal sense or any sense at all, then absolutely 100%. The idea to start off with, because obviously the MLG community came up with this idea and all of the things, was an army or a regiment or D&D classes. But if you want to take it as classy, fancy looking person, then go ahead, absolutely go ahead. So that should be fun. It might be a big mix of stuff.
Yeah, that sounds pretty awesome. We did discuss what I was potentially going to paint for that, and now I can't remember.
You can't remember. Oh, I had own-made sausages.
Ooh, very nice. What did you have in them?
Red says my superpower is lack of money, and I think that's mine too. Even though there is 2 pence, a 1 pence stuck to the bottom of these miniatures, so I'm rolling in it now.
Yeah.
Got a whole 3 pence going on.
Ooh.
What did we have? Oh, we had corn something or other.
Yeah, you had a
What was the dog that used to say sausages?
Walls sausages.
But he used to move his bottom, the bloke used to move the dog's bottom jaw and make it say sausages. I'm harking back to days gone by.
I can't really remember it that much. Can't really remember it. You had cauliflower cheese. Oh, nice, very nice, very nice. Cauliflower cheese grill.
Oh yeah,
and chips. And I had spicy bean burgers because I do like them. There you go. Just what we had for tea over at Shea MLG.
Yeah, it's always a quick tea on Tuesday because we stream at 7, and by the time Mr. MLG's actually got home, we haven't got long. So I was eating my tea whilst adding the
Malifaux
stuff. Yeah, I wish things would get spelled properly. Red Snail says egg and chips.
Yeah, we might have been having egg and chips if we'd had some eggs.
Yeah, we didn't have any eggs, so no egg and chips. But that is normally the kind of thing that we have on Tuesdays. Tony says Millie won't say sausages, she just snores very loudly. Well, Gizmo is asleep after having his massive run around on the muddy field for the first time, and then having a bath. Is sulking slightly because he didn't really like his bath, and he's now asleep. But isn't making any daft noises. He normally dreams and makes little squeaky puppy noises. But
He's too tired.
he's too tired, he's just stumped out.
Yeah.
I've just cooked the Mr. Sausage and Egg Barm. I don't know what a barm is.
Yeah.
But more sausage and egg, see? We missed out. We should have had sausage and egg.
Yeah, we didn't have any sausages because we ate them the other day. We had a rare sausage breakfast, didn't we? And little Miss MLG decided that she didn't like the sausages. So I ended up with extra sausage.
Right. She asked for sausage sandwiches and then didn't eat the sausages.
Yeah.
Because, that's helpful. You toad in the hole, says Pete. Oh, sausages again! Wicked D says, you don't know what a barm is. No, I don't know what a barm cake is. I'm assuming you mean a cob, but not from where you're from.
Yeah, it's one of them. See, I wouldn't call them a cob either. I'd call it a bread, either a bread cake or a bread bun.
But I'm not from where you're from either.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see, that's the difference between our tiny little island and all the differences that it is.
Yeah, don't. We'll end up talking about scones and scones and.
You mean a scone, don't you?
Yeah, I do mean a scone, but some people call it a scone, don't they?
No.
And they would obviously be wrong. And then there's the whole debate about jam and cream and.
Yeah.
Which is irrelevant to me because I don't like those. So.
Yeah, you don't have anything on yours.
It doesn't really matter. Just some butter. That's it.
So you don't have to participate in the jam creaminess.
No. Yeah, I know. The only thing that made me think about it is because the last time I made some for you, I'd obviously done it in the wrong order for you, but it just seemed logical. Yeah, you told me that I'd done it wrong.
Tea cake. We had tea cakes for dinner.
Yeah.
So with the currants in tea cake.
Yeah.
It's gone. Now it's gone. Yeah. Tea cakes have raisins in.
And yeah, it's got to be real butter, Red Snail.
Oh yeah, totally.
Like that. I can't believe it's not butter. Stuff's
that's
just
horrible.
ridiculous. Yeah. You can believe it's not butter because it tastes nothing like butter. You might as well have just put some. You might as well have just put some grease on your bread. It's manky.
Yeah, that's what we had. Toasted tea cakes for dinner. That's what we had for dinner. Toasted tea cakes. Can't beat toasted tea cakes.
Yeah.
Apart from our shopping, we got home delivery shopping, which we don't normally do, but we've been running out of hours in the day, and they substituted our tea cakes for fruit loaf, which, okay, made it easier to toast, I suppose, but it's not quite the same.
Yeah.
All this food talk's got my tummy rumbling. Tony says, I don't eat cake or sweets. I'm still refusing to order burgers in pubs as they serve them in cake and call it a fancy name. Yeah, it's sweet bread, that isn't it?
Yeah,
sometimes.
they're brioche.
What's this colour? It's your favourite colour. It's bright purple. Fairly sure that you like this colour, don't you? If I got the right one.
Right.
Roy says, even I'm getting hungry. It's your fault you started the whole conversation off.
Yeah, telling us about your homemade sausages.
Yeah, it's your fault that everybody is now hungry.
Yeah, I'm hungry.
Yeah, we could have something. Even though we have literally just had something.
Yeah.
Yes, he could have been worse. He could have substituted it for malt, though.
I read that as meatloaf, and I thought like, oh, that's a bit weird, isn't it? Like, why would they? Anyway, but never mind.
It would have been a bit strange if the singer had turned up as well.
Oh yeah, because he's dead.
Well, I know. No. Sometimes I worry about it.
Oh yeah, travesty as well. I'd specifically ordered like it's unimportant. I don't even really know why I'm telling you, but I'm gonna because I've started.
You started, so I'll finish.
Started, so I'll finish. So I specifically ordered some elbow grease cleaner, degreaser cleaner, like kitchen cleaner type stuff, and they substituted it for Sillet Bang. And I'd specifically ordered the elbow grease stuff for cleaning 3D prints, and then they substituted it for another product, and I don't know how that would work. The substitution. I've never used Sillet Bang for 3D print cleaning before.
But bang, dirty's gone.
Yeah.
You didn't accept it though, did you?
I didn't. I sent it back. Yeah.
I like sawing. I don't know if I'd give it all up for Dorian, but I like sawing.
Yeah. Apart from that last pack of things that I got you that were really hard for some reason.
Still ate them though.
Yeah.
You just couldn't cut them. They were just like a hammer.
Right.
I don't think what to do now.
So I've got all the basic colours on this guy. He's got. I'll do that bit there on his dagger. Get that. So it's not black. I'm going to leave his trousers black. And I just need to put a little bit of colour on the fletchings of these arrows. So he's a ranger. He would use natural animal feathers rather than dye them, I think. So we shouldn't make them too bright in colour. What do you think is a good like feather colour base for some feathers?
Brown?
Yeah, there's already quite a bit of brown on him. Don't know.
A different brown.
A different brown. Just touch those edges of that green up. Oh, I don't know what's going on in chat. White swan feathers. That's what we're going to do then, Kuronoko. You've suggested it. Ah, right. Okay. Kuronoko suggested white. We're going to go with white.
And you just jumping in on that.
Yeah.
It's not brown, let's have it.
Yeah, that's it. Bit of white. Bit of white. And then we've got 10 minutes left, so then I'm going to go back to my speed paints after I've done this, and we'll see what's going on there.
Fiddle with this Harlequin thing.
Why? What's up with it? Oh, I need to undercoat this other one.
Well, I think it's alright. I've got, this one and 4 more that are still grey. So, I won't rush. Oh, they are pretty cool. Look at them leaping off things. Whee! This one's doing some kind of... I mean, who shoots like that? I'm just going to stick my leg out over there.
He's leaping off something. Yay! It's because they're like
all dancing.
Yeah, they're called a troop. A squad of Harlequins is a troop.
Whee! So I think you don't have to rush to put that last one together. I think we're all right.
No, he's put together. He just needs undercoating. Done him, sorted him.
Yeah, can snipers. Yeah.
He's cool. Cool. How are you getting on with your old hammer stuff, Hamish? Is it coming along all right?
Yeah, is that a Wednesday stream? I remember.
Right. Let's get some of this. So we've got some grey primer from Reaper. I'm going to use that. So this is what I originally used to prime these guys with. Stick it out of the way. These wolves. This is originally what I used. So I'm going to put that in there.
This is what you want now?
I'm going to put some primer on the wolves. And we're going to see how that reacts. So yeah, I was going to paint it over the top. So as if we've made a bit of a hash of the thing, and we're going to start again, and we're going to see how that works out.
Amy says, doing well, thanks. I've been working on a few things at the same time. A Goblin Fanatic and an Empire Outrider are nearly finished. Wednesday afternoon is all now. That's it. Wednesday afternoon first. Well, it looks like it's going on alright.
Yeah.
Jolly music now.
Do 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 do.
Yeah, I don't know what yours is.
Music in my head. So, I mean that's gone all right. I don't think that's agitated the paint or anything there. Can't see that it's turned into a light blue mess. Get it. Sorry, a wicked day. Should have warned you we were doing the horror brush, but primer brush.
So, was the blue one the worst one?
Let's have a look. Consult our bit of paper. No, actually, I think the brown was the worst. So let's we'll leave that there, and we'll come back to it. So, blue. Covered alright, that I would say. Covered okay. Right, we'll do the grey one next. So this is Gravelord Grey. That's going on okay, that. I don't see any mixing or anything there. That's coating quite nicely.
What about if you wanted to dry brush it or something like that?
Yeah, we'll have to give that
I know the idea is that you don't have to, do you? The idea is that you just slap that paint on and it's way to go.
Yeah, what I'll do is I'll do the back half of the brown one in the prime with the prime because I've varnished this other side. So I'll do the back half with the primer of the brown one, and then we'll do the front half. We'll have a little dry brush on it, and we'll see what that looks like. We'll see if we can get a localized thing going on.
So you said that you varnished that one, and the varnish is going all funny and whatever. How is it actually dried?
So, there you go. So on this side, you can see how glossy it is. This finish. And I hold it in shot. There we go. So you can see how glossy it is before we've done it. I mean, the primer's gone on okay. I can't see that that's. Oh no, it has actually. Look at that. Started to. Oh, I've added more on now. That's no good. I've added more on. It's mixing. Look, you can see it's tarnishing the colour of the primer in the brown. Interesting. But on this side, look how look what a good matte finish that's come out with. Actually,
that varnish is really good. That Max varnish, I used it the other day for the first time. It is really good.
Yeah,
it is.
It's absolutely fantastic. That. I mean, I think that's super glossy. Yeah. I don't think dry brushing this is going to be any problem at all. In fact, let's give it a quick go.
You haven't got long.
Let's give it a quick go. Handily, I have a dry brush just here. So we're going to use a bit of this driftwood brown that we've got here. Yeah. What's happened there?
What?
Well, I've gone to... Well, maybe put it on a bit heavy, I don't know.
We can't see it again now because you're miles away.
It's something very strange happened there. It's like just rubbing the paint off. It's gone a bit grey. That's not right, is it?
What, you dry brushing with grey?
Oh, no, it's a brown.
Oh.
Dry brushed it with the brown. How strange. Yes. I mean, it's gone beautifully over the side that I've varnished, but on this side, when I've tried to dry brush it, it's like roughed the paint up. And this was a clean, dry brush, so I'm not sure what's happened there. It's like it's just rubbing the paint off. Definitely. That's I think. Sorry, just on track for Max Matte Varnish. I think that this will end up coming in bigger bottles before long.
Because it's super cool.
Yeah, because it's such a good product. Probably like 60ml bottles or something for that. Speed paints. Let's give you my opinion on speed paints then. Coverage, great. If you're a neat painter and you can not go over the lines, I would say pretty good. If you have to go over something that you've already done and re-prime it, then you can do. I mean, you can see slight colour variation in those primers. So that's one thin coat of Reaper Grey primer on each of those. So this is where are they? So this is Cloudburst Blue, and you can see it's got a very little bit of a bluey tinge to it. This is Gravelord Grey, and that's obviously a bit darker. And then this chap here at the bottom is Dark Wood. So hopefully you can see that there is a little bit of a tinge of colour to the primer that I've put over the top. Now obviously it's like quite a thin coat of primer. I didn't add any water to it, but and it's going over a darker colour to start off with. But yeah, definitely if you're going to be using speed paints and adding some to your painting repertoire, I would say certainly test on some smaller areas before you start diving into bigger minis, just so you're comfortable with how they work. But on the whole, all right. But that's the first time I've used any Max Matte Varnish, and I'm well impressed with that bad boy.
Are you going to wrap up then? So we can...
Yeah. So that's where we are for now. Give you a quick view of Flynn the Ranger in his current form. So this is where we are. He's just grey and green, and I've chipped a bit of paint off there. Let's touch that.
Cool. Oh. What are you doing tomorrow?
Touch that up. Tomorrow night we are carrying on our D&D session, aren't we?
Oh yeah, I forgot.
So join us at 8 PM, provided all our players are still willing participants. Join us at 8 PM tomorrow night for the continuing adventures of our brave adventurers.
I'm having problems raiding Goblin Squire, but I'm going to try my very best. For some reason it doesn't want me to.
They're loving my dungeon and all the doors.
Yeah. So hopefully we'll see you tomorrow at 8 o'clock, and you'll come with us now Goblin Squire and see what he's up to. Thank you very much for everybody.
Awesome.
We really do appreciate you being here.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.